No, God's mercy is one of those abiding, unchangeable realities. It isn't our favorite attribute. It is God's greatest attribute because it is the coordination of all of his attributes. God's mercy is God's love, his power, his knowledge, his goodness, coordinated in action. God loves us, but mercy is God's love in action, reaching down to us in our misery, raising us up to his own glory, and making us saints all along the way. This is the key to understanding why God hates our sin and God punishes it. And at the same time, God forgives our sin and he takes away the sin of the world. Well, which is it, God? Do you hate sin or do you forgive sin? And the answer is C, both A and B. Well, how can it be? Because God hates sin and punishes it, God forgives sin and takes it away for the same reason, because he loves us. If he didn't hate our sin, that would prove that he doesn't really love us. If he didn't punish our sin, that would also prove that he doesn't really love us. If you came home with me this afternoon, we have 2 teenagers in my family still. We have 6 kids, and by the way, let me correct the introduction. We've got 9 grandkids now. But if you came home, you'd discover that I punish my kids and not the neighbor's kids. Although those neighbor's kids, let me tell you. But I punish my kids not because I stop loving them or not because I start loving them a little bit less. It's because I can't stop loving them. And even though they might not feel it, the punishments are an expression of my love. Not perfect, they would assure you of that. They've got a father with faults and flaws and failings and all of the rest. But God the Father has no faults, no failings. He doesn't go through good and bad moods. He doesn't ever give in to anger. What we call the anger of God is how we experience his love. As St. Thomas Aquinas said, God's wrath is a metaphor, but it's a sign that points to something real. It's how we experience his abiding love when we've turned our back on him.